Excuse me, can you just move in, please?
Oh, sorry. I'm trying not to crack up here.
You must take one too.
That's okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 1990 graduation exercises. I'm Darren Shaw.
And I'm Tina Skews. It's our honor to be MCs for tonight. Please rise and join in the singing of O Canada, accompanied by Mardell Kern on the piano and Karen Donnelly on the trumpet.
Thank you.
two of our high school teachers, Ms. Shukin and Mr. Gottslick.
During the introduction of the graduates, Mr. Tykolis, our school principal, will present the scrolls. We would appreciate it if you would hold your applause until the end of the presentation. We would now like to call upon Ms. Shukin, Mr. Gottslick, and Mr. Tykolis.
Graduates, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the 1990 graduation exercises. When we were first approached to do the commentaries, we saw it as an opportunity of revenge. No, seriously, we hope you take our comments in the playful nature they are intended and enjoy listening to them as much as we enjoyed preparing them.
Annette McDougall. Annette is a very independent person. She would rather sit on a pumpkin and have it all to herself than be crowded on a velvet cushion. This makes her out to be a Cinderella type, but we know she'll have a ball in Italy. Good luck, Annette.
Terrell Arcand. Terrell is planning a career as a dental assistant. It's funny that she would choose this career as it reflects her recent relationship at SHS. Terrell met Travis and was not hit by Cupid, but by cuspid zero. This started to fill the cavity in her heart. Once Travis saw Terrell close up, he made her his little candy floss. Terrell used her wisdom and gave Travis the brush off. Now he concentrates on hockey drills. Congratulations, Terrell.
Lavon Anderson. Lavon struggled with parenthood. Her flower baby, Bartholomew, looked like a mutant. She figured it was so ugly it was cute. She plans to market it as a mutant ninja flower baby. Best wishes as you pursue a career as a computer accountant.
Katrina Bate. When Trina set out her bait to catch a man, she was hoping for someone who was good-looking, popular, intelligent, and more than anything, invincible. Good luck as you pursue a career in education.
Carrie Rasmussen. Carrie lives by the motto, everybody's entitled to my opinion. As for others' opinions of Carrie, she doesn't seem to care. Remember when, in grade 5, you sang the entire Mini Pops album, even though you were asked to sing only one song? Now you've progressed to rapping to Hamlet at no one's request. Really, Carrie, we'll miss you at SHS, especially around lunchtime when you won't be there to answer the call. Your pizza's here. Carrie is planning a career in physical education, and we wish her all the best.
Corey Dawson. Flower baby sat on Corey's lap. Flower baby had a mishap. From her lap to the floor, flower baby's head was attached no more. All the 12 A's and all the 12 B's, they didn't help, they only teased. It seems rather hypocritical, right, Tanya? That Corey's going into social work, as rather than help this child, she just turned him into a batch of chocolate chip off the old block cookies.
Leah Barr. Leah has always been an enthusiastic student, but her enthusiasm reached a peak on grub day. Leah. Look, Leah, look. A grade 9, Leah. Chase, Leah, chase. See Leah run. Run, Leah, run. See Leah fall. See Leah's butt. See Jason laugh. Laugh, Jason, laugh. See Leah hurt. Ow, Leah, ow. See Leah's scars. As Leah plans a career in childcare, dealing with scrapes and bruises, may she always remember Grub Day. Best wishes, Leah.
Carla Stevenson. Carla is usually the quiet, studious type who plans to enter the medical field. She probably won't need a scalpel as she's quite famous for cutting people with her words. However, it has been rumored that Carla's secret ambition is to open a nudist camp at Cyprus. Good luck in all your endeavors, Carla.
Nicole Bailey. Nicole completed her grade 12 in January and baileyed out of SHS. This early exit hasn't helped her decide on a career, however. If only Nicole had the ambition now that she had for driving in grade 9, she'd have made it. Good luck in all your future endeavors.
Susan Lewins. Sue is an attractive, athletic, intelligent, pleasant young lady. With all these assets, we cannot understand why Susan plans to spend her life on Skid Row. Seriously, Sue plans to train as a medical secretary, and we wish her all the best.
Trisha Vole. Trisha, the eldest of the Vole clones, may be small, but is apparently feisty. Trisha is plagued with hairophobia, the fear of someone touching her hair. Just ask the second Vole clone who, after touching Trisha's golden locks, was tossed out the car window like a salad. We extend best wishes to you as you spend a year in France, and we hope you return able to speak the language.
Stacy Fritz. High school prepared Stacy for one of the problems we face in society: how to keep busy during your spare time. You know, Stacy, you're only young once, but pretty soon you'll have to find another excuse. Best wishes, Stacy.
Deanna Envik. Rumor has it that Deanna made an attempt to run away from home. Seeking companionship, she took her cat with her. She packed the cat's food for the journey, but none for herself. Obviously, she was more concerned for the cat's welfare than her own. It's not surprising then that she's going into animal health technology. Good luck, Deanna.
Patricia Wilson. This year, Patricia played second fiddle to Dan Hofferth and was out in left field with the Rebels. Consequently, she is trying to gain a little class by joining the teaching profession. Best wishes.
Owen T. I'm sorry, Owen, I can't say your last name. Owen is our exchange student from Thailand. We knew Owen was fitting into high school life in Shaunavon when one morning he came to school looking 9 months pregnant and wearing pigtails. Owen also fit in nicely with the 12Bs. When setting up the timetable, we considered giving them a half hour of nap time. In some classes, Owen looked like he was bobbing for apples. Hopefully you can break these habits once you get home. Thanks for the year, Owen. Best of luck.
Pamela Hardeen. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's Super Pam. She has the strength to handle anyone, anything, anytime. These qualities probably led Pam to pursue a career in law enforcement. But we neglected to mention one of Pam's, or our superhero's, drawbacks. She is habitually late. We can just imagine her showing up to the scene of the crime 2 hours after it's been called in. Congratulations, Pam, and best of luck.
Andrea Gerardot. Probably the meek really will inherit the earth. They won't have the nerve to refuse. Andrea may appear to be the shy, quiet, reserved type. However, given the opportunity and the right circumstances, Andrea can project her voice. This was shown when the car Andrea was a passenger in was hit. She leapt from the car and made her verbal skills very evident. Best wishes as you enter the College of Commerce at the U of S. Tanya Tremere. Man once subscribed to the theory of male superiority. Then woman, Tanya, canceled his subscription. This doesn't make Tanya a feminist, but she does practice what she preaches. She's no hypocrite. Heck, she can't even say it. Tanya is off to Belgium this fall on an exchange program. We wish her the best and hope she has a rewarding experience.
Cindy Odland. Cindy plans to pursue a career in law enforcement. Apparently, one of the components of making it in this profession is passing a driver's test. For your sake, Cindy, we hope this test will be given during the summer, because if you take it in the winter, you probably won't make it out of the parking lot. Best wishes, Cindy.
Dale Adette. Throughout Dale's high school years, he has had 2 hobbies: collecting pink flamingos and girlfriends. However, recently, he has been barred from the latter collection. Dale thinks he's a pretty hot dish, so he's chosen a career in professional cooking. Good luck, Dale.
Jared Bildfeld. We are all familiar with the television programs which play off the idea that kids say the darndest things. Where were the TV cameras when Jared arrived home from kindergarten to an anxious mother, curious about his first trip to the dental nurse? Nonchalantly, Jared replied, "It was okay. The dental nurse was nice. And guess what, Mom? She wasn't wearing a bra." From this, one would assume Jared might go into dentistry. However, he has chosen physical education where he can offer more support. Congratulations, Jared.
Lee Poppy. Lee and Dale are very compatible. They bring to mind the idea that friendship is almost always the union of a part of one's mind with a part of another's. Perhaps it is this idea which leads students to believe that Lee and Dale share one brain cell. This friendship may also have enticed Lee into a cooking career. Perhaps one day you will become Dale's short order cook. Youth is glorious, but it isn't a career. Best of luck in all your future endeavors, Lee.
Shelley Davidson. Everyone is so proud of Shelley as she has decided to follow in Houdini's footsteps. However, we fear for her, since at an East End dance she tried one of her magnificent feats and failed. After getting mad at some friends, she locked herself in a car and couldn't get out. Best of luck, Shelley, as you pursue a career as a mental office assistant.
Delee Nelson. Delee, you better squint so you can hear all of this. Delee is planning a career in nursing. We assume she'll want to work on a children's ward. As we all know, Delee likes them young. Best wishes for your future.
Corey Pearson. Some of Corey's friends used to call him Piggy Pearson. This son of a drug dealer is high on hash. Rumor has it he's been snorting his way through the Fantastics food bar at Bonanza. Corey is looking forward to his education in commerce. Maybe this piggy will own his own bank. Congratulations, Corey.
Jason Rowe. Here's a little story about Jason's childhood. As many youngsters are, Jason was fascinated with superheroes. Jason's mother made him a Batman cape, which he wore with pride everywhere. One day, as Jason rode his bike, he turned to watch Super K billowing in the wind. As Jason watched, he drove into the side of a horse. Since superheroes don't cry, Jason dusted himself off and rode into the sunset. Apparently, Jason still believes in the triumph of good over evil, as he has chosen law enforcement as a career. Best wishes.
Stacy Smith. Sometimes the littlest things in life are the hardest to take. You can sit on a mountain more comfortably than on a tack. Stacy would get this point as he was under constant attack by Patricia and Cindy. Stacy's future includes going off to tech to become a mechanic. But we know he won't be gone too long, as his craving for prairie oysters will bring him back. Good luck, Stacy. Lawrence Johnson. Remember Lawrence in grade 8? The smallest and youngest looking kid in his class. Apparently, Lawrence was very sensitive about this. Then, to add salt to the wound, the next year, his younger but taller brother Leon entered SHS and played basketball for the senior Shadows while Lawrence toiled for the junior team. But as Lawrence graduates, his classmates will remember him as Magic Johnson. Lawrence plans to attend Bible camp this fall, and we wish him well. Right.
Robin Wall. All we ever hear Robin say is what a great athlete he is. What a ladies' man he is. How intelligent he is. How good-looking he is. Such a rare bird deserves to be stuffed, and many people have considered doing it. As Robin loves selling himself, he plans to enter into business administration. However, it will be hard getting this bird out of the nest. Congratulations, Robin.
Angie Vole. Angie considered a career as a lawyer until she went on the European tour. Apparently, while defending a young German man at Speaker's Corner, an adversary took offense to Angie's defense and pulled a knife on her. Fortunately, she escaped, and things have gone much smoother. In fact, she spent the last year in paradise. Best wishes as you further your education in the College of Commerce.
Cindy Braun. After Cindy revealed her weekend exploits in Saskatoon one Monday morning in French class, she became part of the lesson on verb tenses. Blondie will go to the bar. Blondie is going to the bar. Blondie has gone to the bar. This might lead one to believe that Cindy will be going into law. However, she has chosen business administration as her profession, where we wish her all the best. Bree Goldstein. Bree was destined to go into vet med. She can survive in a dog-eat-dog world. She has the aura of a cool cat. She doesn't cower when faced with frightening situations, and she's always horsing around with Dan H. in English class. It's true, Bree does belong on Animal Farm. This fall, Bree will be in Sweden on the exchange program, and we hope she has a rewarding experience.
Kelly Fuller. Did you see Kelly walking up here tonight? Obviously, these aren't the halls of SHS. Lazy people always work harder than anyone else. They're so eager to get through and lie down again. On Halloween night, Kelly was working harder than anyone else. But he didn't quite get through a clothesline. Needless to say, he got to lie down. Kelly plans to pursue a career as a conservation officer, and we wish him well. Ryan Tondevol. Ryan is escorted here tonight by Pam Hardeen, the same girl who pantsed him in social class. She must have liked what she saw. And to think Mr. Klippenstein thought you were underdressed wearing a muscle shirt. Since many of you might not know this young man, here are a couple of tidbits of information. As a child, his favorite game was hide and go seek. Now it's seek, go, and hide. His favorite movie is American Graffiti, and his adolescent hero was Mussolini. Best wishes as you pursue a career as an ecologist.
Daniel Hopper. Dan came to school one day dressed as Kermit the Frog in hopes of making it with his lifelong love, Miss Piggy. Unfortunately, he only got a kiss from an RCM pig who laid down the law. Sorry, Dan, I guess your days as a frog prince are over. Dan plans to enter the teaching profession in the area of physical education. We wish you well.
Danny Korsberg. Nice to see you awake for this, Danny. You're usually sleeping when I'm talking. Danny represents the concept of leisure, men who tire themselves in the pursuit of rest. About the only other pursuit Danny has is catching Mel Zeri, a difficult catch considering she's a sprinter. Danny is looking into becoming a steam fitter. We wish you only the best.
Jamie Wilton. Jamie felt he was too mature when his parents said they were taking him to Disneyland. Once there, however, Jamie had a blast. In fact, Jamie informed us upon his return that a great honor was bestowed upon him. Apparently, Mickey has a set of Jamie's ears. Jamie plans on entering the College of Education this fall to become a physical education teacher. Good luck.
Bradley Campbell. As students graduate, they look forward to their future. Brad's upbringing has left him with many options. After your fight with Danny Korsberg and subsequent throwing of his bike, perhaps a career as a professional wrestler would suit you. Then again, Steve's ear looks pretty good. Maybe you should consider a career as a beautician. There's always a position of bouncer at the co-op. However, Brad is apparently leaning towards a career in social work. Perhaps he got this idea while counseling girls as they cruise Center Street. Best of luck, Brad.
Jason James. Some may consider Jason to be ahead of the times when he was one of the first guys to wear an earring. But Jason isn't always ahead of the times. He has the definition of punctuality down pat. The art of guessing correctly how late the other party is going to be. Best of luck, Jason, in the College of Commerce.
Michael Adet. We haven't seen Mike for a while, but apparently he's been successful on 2 counts. First, rumor has it, he's engaged. And second, he's going to produce a movie called A Fiancée Called Wanda. Copyright laws tell us something's fishy, but we wish you luck anyway.
Darren Kader. Darren's secret ambition in life is to own the world's largest Tonka truck. We understand, however, that congratulations are in order. Darren has decided to become a French teacher. Darren does have some reservations, however, as this means going from dawn to dusk. Best wishes, Darren.
Vince Horn. In searching for things to say in this commentary, we approached Vince. He didn't offer much help. He didn't mention his athletic ability, his intelligence, or his generous nature. But Vince isn't one to blow his own horn. With all these things going for him, who would have thought that Vince would become a space cadet? Best wishes, Vince, as you pursue an education in aerospace engineering.
Steve Gordon. Steve, alias Flash Gordon, or maybe that should be Cash Gordon. Steve has one thing on his mind, and that is to make money. He thinks that by starting out as a janitor, he can eventually own the company. To achieve this goal, your brown nose is going to have more than just dirt on it. Congratulations and the best of everything in the future.
Justin Turner. Justin's greatest love is money. He's always trying to turn her a fast buck. He envisions himself one day as having a good cash flow bird. When asked in class one day what Christmas meant to him, Justin replied, making time and a half. We guess the E in Justin E. Turner stands for Ebenezer. Best wishes in medicine, Justin.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the graduating class of 1990.
It is traditional on this occasion for the principal to say a few words to the graduating class.
We would now like to introduce Mr. Tykolis to give this address.
Graduates, parents of graduates, fellow teachers, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the exercises of this graduating class. I always look at tonight's occasion as a very special night for various people in the community, but particularly special for three groups. The first, the graduates. Tonight has to be the single most important event for each of you, as this day represents a culmination of years of study and work. All throughout your school days, the constant expectation of you was that someday you would reach this particular milestone. The emphasis was that an education was important. At this point, you have only reached a level which will allow you to make some decisions about your future. The choices that you make will have to be made for yourselves, rather than relying on others, as you have till now. The second group, the parents and the families that are here with us tonight. Each of you, the parents and relatives of the graduates, must be proud of the growth and development that you have seen in your children. They've entered the school system as such naive infants, but through their schooling, a number of changes occurred, all in the name of adolescence and maturity. But the background, as mentioned earlier at the banquet, that you provided in their upbringing will form the foundation for your son or daughter to continue to grow in this adult world. And the third group, the teachers. We as teachers have tried to impart the wisdom that we possess through training and experience. The feeling is that certain basic knowledge is important for these young adults to be able to cope in today's society. But not only do we try to develop the academic skills needed, but also develop the social skills that today appear to be more important than ever before in dealing with the unknown factors of the future. Graduates, we as staff are also proud of your achievements. The theme that your class has selected appears most appropriate, holding on together. At a time when we're entering the final decade of the 20th century, it is hard to predict what things will be like in the next 5, 10, or 20 years. There's always a sense of wonder when someone looks into the future, but there are practical reasons to look ahead and try to make predictions. Change is a fact of life. It will be most important for you to be flexible and use changes for your benefit. Every aspect of our lives is at present being affected by technological changes, and the impacts will continue in the future. Developing the knowledge and skills to meet the demands of the rapidly changing society will be an important challenge to each of you. This will be the time that holding on together will be most important for you to gain a sense of understanding and reassurance in the world of uncertainty. A major decision facing you is whether or not to continue your education after high school. And your education no longer appears a guarantee of employment or job satisfaction. In preparation for the 21st century, these are the questions you should be asking yourself. What am I good at? Or what interests me? What are the things I want to do? Where do I want to be in the next 5 years? How do I get the things I need to be successful? What advice can I offer to you in addition to what I've told you in the past? I would like to offer 4 simple thoughts to keep in mind. First, the greatest tragedy in life is when you have no options, you have no choices. This can occur when people feel powerless to make changes in their lives. It is important that you, at this stage, begin to consider what your future goals are and to begin working towards them, even if it takes effort and work. It has long been accepted that the easy way is not necessarily the best way. My motto for this year, which everybody saw in the biology lab, to be the best, you must work harder than the rest. Second, some people, when they are uncertain about the future, have a tendency to do nothing. They procrastinate and don't realize that deciding to do nothing is, in itself, a decision. Even if you don't know what you want to do in the future, you can be doing something now that will give you more opportunities for the future. The more skills you possess, the better equipped you will be in meeting the challenges of the future. This means attaining these skills could be through schooling or work experience. Any activity is a form of learning. Third, an important requirement for attainment of any goal is if you want something to happen, go for it. Nothing is accomplished by merely wishing for it. You must do things today, tomorrow, next week, next year in trying to reach your goal. Learning is a non-ending experience. And last, growth in the new areas requires patience. All new things, if they have meaning, can only be learned and experienced in small steps. Too often we lack the understanding of what is available out there and how to go after it. This is when reflection, critical thinking, openness will all become important skills that you have learned. With these skills, you'll be able to make decisions which are best for you as an individual, irregardless of what others may think. Be prepared to stand for what you believe. So in conclusion, your education in the future will be more important than ever before. It is a time for reflection and changes to be made when required. It is a time to think critically about what, how, and why as you prepare for tomorrow. You will face many tough choices and will feel uneasy and frustrated during trying times. But trust your instincts. Once your senses are clear, you will know what is right and best for you. At this time, I would like to bid farewell and best wish and success in your futures. And also, in addition to Owen as he returns to Thailand, and to the departing teachers, Ms. Robertson, Ms. Shukin, and Mr. Klippenstein. Thank you.
We now have the pleasure of listening to 4 of this year's graduates sing as a quartet.
The 4 students are Lawrence Johnston, Sue Lewins, Jared Bildfell, and Delee Nelson. They will be singing Friends Are Forever, accompanied by Angie Bowl on piano. This will be followed by a slide presentation recalling the graduates' experience in the high school.
packing up the dreams God planted in the fertile soils of youth. Can't believe the hopes He's granted. Means a chapter in your life is through.
We'll keep you close as always. It won't even seem on. 'Cause our hearts in big and small ways will keep the love that keeps us strong.
And friends are friends forever if the Lord's the Lord of them. And a friend will not say never, 'cause the welcome will not end. Though it's hard to let you go, in the Father's hands we know that a lifetime's not too long to live as friends. With the faith and love God's given, springing from the hope we know, and we will pray the joy you're living is the strength that now you show.
We'll keep you close as always. It won't even seem you've gone. 'Cause our hearts in big and small ways will keep the love that keeps us strong.
And friends are friends forever if the Lord's the Lord of them. And a friend will not say never, 'cause her welcome will not end. Though it's hard to let you go, in the Father's hands we know that a lifetime's not too long to live as friends. And friends are friends forever if the Lord's the Lord of them. And a friend will not say never, 'cause the welcome will not end. Though it's hard to let you go, in the Father's hands we know that a lifetime's not too long to live as friends. No, a lifetime's not too long to live as friends.
a senior teacher at Shaunavon High. He started teaching at our school 5 years ago, the same time this year's graduates entered the high school, and like the graduates, he will be leaving us, in his case retiring. His initial teacher training was in Saskatchewan, and he has now completed 34 years of successful teaching.
During this time, he has held teaching positions in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and British Columbia. His retirement place will be in Vancouver, but his social studies students were convinced he would be retiring to Meech Lake. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it is our honor to call upon Mr. Henry Klippenstein.
Graduates, parents, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I feel honored to be the speaker of the first Shaunavon graduating class of the 1990s. It is especially meaningful to me since, the same as you grads, I too arrived at Shaunavon High School 5 years ago, and now we are leaving together. And as I consider how much you have changed during these 5 years, I'm reminded of the words of Arthur Black. As time goes by, one of my big problems is dealing with how fast the rest of the world is aging. Girls I used to chase are now at the threshold of grandmotherhood. Rock stars I used to idolize are collecting old age pensions. Me, says Arthur Black, oh, I'm still 18. But time sure marches on for the rest of you. Watching you, I can identify with that conclusion. Just last week, after boasting all spring how he could beat me in a game of golf, Brad, together with Justin, picked me up at 4:30 in the morning for a contest at East End. Well, Brad, you'll have to admit it really was no contest. If you were ever half as good as you said you were, I can only conclude that you're definitely over the hill. And then there's Kelly Fuller, who has repeatedly refused a rematch of that foot race he so ignominiously lost 3 years ago when he dared to throw a snowball at me on the way to school. And it took him 2 periods to dry out from the consequences. If you ever had it, Kelly, I can only conclude that you too have lost it. Perhaps you have spent too much time cruising around in that big brown bomb rather than keeping in shape, or at least walking that 1.5 blocks to school. How much all of you have changed in 5 years. We have already been reminded of little Lawrence in grade 8, who is shorter even than his younger brothers. However, we need not go back 5 years to illustrate how much you have changed. And I concede that most of those changes have been for the good. Why, as little as 2 weeks ago, I could not have, for the life of me, have pictured Muscle Shirt Ryan, affectionately known by his peers as the Duce or Mussolini, in a tuxedo. What a change, Ryan. What a pleasant surprise. Me? Oh, I haven't changed a bit during this time. Well, maybe a little. I must admit that 5 years ago, unlike the recent color night, I did at least remember what town I'm in. But I must hurry on before the inevitable happens. I'm very much aware that a certain member of this graduating class consistently falls asleep at precisely the 18-minute mark of every one of my classes. I wouldn't want to give the name away, but then on the other hand, you've already seen on a picture Danny doing what Danny does best. But perhaps, Danny, you are the most sensible one in the audience, because I heard the other day that if all graduation speakers were laid down end to end, it would be the best thing that could have happened. Grads, we share many happy memories, but unfortunately there are also some sad ones. Who could have known several months ago that when you chose your theme, Holding On Together, how meaningful during this month of June those words would become to us as a school, as a community, and yes, potentially also to us as a nation. The painful experience of the past weeks have been so intense and seemingly senseless that it is almost bizarre to even suggest that some good should be gleaned from it. Yet that too is life. We must learn not only to survive painful experiences, but also to grow from them. Perhaps we are beginning to learn that when an individual, or even an entire part of our nation, gives us the impression that they want to be left alone or go their separate way, it is precisely at that moment that we must all the more hold on together. We desperately need each other. We must do a better job of hanging on to each other. But graduation is not just a time of looking back. It is also a time of moving on. I think I can best illustrate this point by reminding you of an experience we shared in grade 10. Remember the assignment in which you researched your family roots? I recall especially the amusing presentation by Vince Horn. Vince's story goes back to one Jacob Horn, an ex-Prussian soldier who served close to General Wolfe in the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. He obtained great recognition for his aid in guiding General Wolfe's forces to the defeat of the French in 1759. And then, ironically, in the same year, he also conquered the heart of one of the French women and married her. Their descendants became successful and wealthy, with the exception of a prospector by the name of Edmund E. Horn. Being a rather poor prospector, he stowed away on a train. However, the conductor caught up with him and threw him off the train. He wandered away from the tracks against great odds and discovered what we today know as the Noranda copper mines of northern Ontario. This made him inordinately wealthy, and as a unique gesture, he found a conductor that had kicked him off the train and sent him $500 every Christmas for the rest of his life, with the explanation, and I quote, "It was the best kick in the ass I ever got." I think you get the picture, grads. This is a powerful symbol of what graduation is all about. We sincerely hope that you, Vince, and for all of your classmates, that the outcome of giving you the boot will be as productive as it was for your ancestor. And, might I add, should you too make it big, that a bonus of $500 every Christmas would be a nice gesture. But before you give you this ceremonious boot, what golden nugget of wisdom can I impute to you? No, I will not once again give you the conclusive answer to the Meech Lake fiasco. Perhaps the best I can do is to remind you of what I consider a significant universal truth, that life is full of paradoxes. You will remember from your English teacher that a paradox is an apparent contradictory statement, I should say two apparent contradictory statements that upon closer examination, both are found to be true. High school is the best of time. High school is the worst of times. How can both be true? Another example, was Christ human or divine? Does not one answer seem to preclude the possibility of the other? Yet the church tells us that he was both. In religion, when we overemphasize one truth at the expense of another, we call it heresy. In politics, we used to call it British Columbia. However, I'm afraid that increasingly you can now also call it Saskatchewan politics, or perhaps even Canadian politics. Why do we insist on polarizing every issue into two mutually exclusive points of view? The editor of a magazine recently was so confused by the two contradictory points of view coming from Nicaragua that he was determined to get his information firsthand. After listening carefully to both the Sandinistas and the Contras, what conclusion did he come to? That both sides were telling the truth. Each side had a legitimate point of view. Is that not often the case? Whose view of Canada is the correct one, ours or the Quebecers? Which one? Or is it both? Or is it neither? One man, Elijah Harper, has forced us to consider that there might yet be a third equally legitimate point of view. The hardest thing in the world is to keep a balanced perspective. I believe that when we understand the paradoxical reality of much of life, we are forced to approach our concepts of reality with a much greater spirit of humility. We are forced to be much more tolerant of those who come to entirely different conclusions than we do. And heaven knows that we all will require a massive injection of tolerance if we are to survive as a nation. Let me briefly touch on one more illustration of a paradox that is perhaps more immediately but permanently relevant to you. We are booting you out into a world in which the problems are so complex and seemingly insoluble that we must be wary of simplistic solutions. And yet, I'm increasingly convinced that the major problems facing us today can only be solved by getting back to the simple solutions, back to the basics. The answer to salvaging our global environment is really very simple. We must use less, we must waste less, we must pollute less. Simple solutions, but enormously difficult to implement. But I have confidence that your generation will and must do a much better job than we have in solving our problems. Grads, I was pleased that in your tribute to your teachers, you included the elementary teachers all the way down, or should I say all the way up, to the kindergarten level. It is appropriate for me to acknowledge at the end of my career that your kindergarten teachers perhaps had a far more profound influence in your life than we at the high school could ever hope to have. I have recently enjoyed a rather whimsical yet no less insightful book by Robert Fulgham entitled All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. And I wish to conclude my address with a quotation from this delightful book. Most of what I really need to know about how to live and what to do and how to be, I learned in kindergarten. Wisdom was not at the top of the graduate school mountain, but there in the sand pile at Sunday school. These are the things I learned. Share everything. Play fair. Don't hit people. Put things back where you found them. Clean up your own mess. Don't take things that aren't yours. Say you're sorry when you hurt somebody. Wash your hands before you eat. Flush. Warm cookies and cold milk are good for you. live a balanced life, learn some and think some, and draw and paint and sing and dance and play and work every day some. Take a nap every afternoon. When you go out into the world, watch out for the traffic, hold hands, stick together. Grads, you had a difficult month of June. I would like to invite your parents, your teachers, and all your friends who have honored you with their presence here tonight to join me in demonstrating our support for you. We wish you an enjoyable and safe after-grad celebration and much happiness and fulfillment in your future endeavors. We congratulate you, we support you, we trust you, we love you, and we will miss you. Thank you.
The lights have been left on in a brown Ford Escort with license plates SJY100. We now come to the part of our program where we present the bursaries and scholarships.
We will ask the presenters to come up individually, and with the presenters and the recipients, please go to the left to get the picture taken.
The Elks Prize will be presented by Rod Thenis.
On behalf of the Elks Club, it gives me a great honor and a pleasure to give this prize to the outstanding one in the class with the highest academic standing. I would ask Katrina Bates to come forward.
Order of Royal Purple Scholarship will be presented by Elaine Herrick.
This year, our scholarship goes to Delee Nelson,
I would now like to call upon Joan Algren to present the Royal Canadian Legion Ladies Auxiliary Scholarships.
We have 2 scholarships to present, one to Danny Hoffert and one to Leah Barr. They will please come up.
The Angus Willett Bursary will be presented by Laurie Cowan.
Congratulations, graduates. The Angus Willow Bursary is for 2 students, one going to university and one going to a tech or secondary school. Each bursary is for $375. This year's recipients are Corey Dawson for university and Sue Lewins for tech.
Ken Mathers will now present the Patty Bradall Memorial Scholarship.
Good evening. The Patty Bradall Memorial Scholarship goes annually to a student who combines academics with extramural activities. The recipient of this scholarship fills the bill on both accounts. He has maintained an 80-plus average, as well as played on an active role in just about every sport: football, volleyball, hockey, lacrosse, and track. And this fall, he is registered at the University of Saskatchewan, where he is enrolled in, which will probably come to no surprise, all the sports that he plays, the College of Physical Education. It gives me great pleasure to award the Patty Bradall Scholarship to Jared Bilfeld.
I'd like to call upon Marcia Bastero to present the Shaunavon Parent Association Bursary. My congratulations to all the grads. This year's recipient of our bursary is Katrina Bate.
The Shawnee Club Bursary will now be presented by Glenn Koski.
Good evening. I had about a 15 or 20-minute speech that I brought with me, but I seem to have misplaced it, so you lucked out. On behalf of the Shawnee Club, I'd like to congratulate the entire 1990 graduating class and announce that the bursary recipient this year is Vince Horn.
The Kiwanis Club Bursary will be presented by Gordon Dunn. Sorry, Ray Dickey.
Thank you. Gord Dunn was unable to be here this evening. First of all, I'd like to pass on my congratulations to the graduating class of 1990 and also to extend best wishes to you people in your future endeavors. It's a pleasure for me to be presenting 2 awards to members of the graduating class on behalf of the Kiwanis Club of Shaunavon. One of the objectives of Kiwanis, besides service work, is also to recognize the youth in our respective communities. We appreciate the community's support in our fundraising projects, and this is one way that we are able to show that appreciation by being part of the exercises tonight. We have 2 scholarships, as I mentioned, in the amounts of $300 apiece, and they go to 2 recipients who are going to further their education post-secondarily. I would ask 2 people to come forward, Susan Lewins and Corey Pearson.
I would now like to call upon Rob Cooling to present the Kinsman Club Bursary.
Congratulations, graduates.
On behalf of the Shaunavon Kinsman Club, I'm very pleased to present the Kinsman Bursary in the amount of $250 to the student with the second highest academic standing. The winner this year is Lawrence Johnston.
The Cadets Bursary will be presented by Gail Adette Sand.
I'd like to thank all the grads that applied for our bursary and congratulate all the other grads. The recipient of the 1990 Shaunavon Cadet Bursary is Leah Barr.
Bob Gottslig will now present the Knights of Columbus Scholarship.
I'm very proud to present this scholarship on behalf of the Knights of Columbus. One of our main principles in this organization is that of charity, and it was that principle which we based our selection of our candidate on. We're looking for a charitable person, and as high school students, they can't donate a lot of money, but donate their time and volunteer to help a lot of groups. This year's recipient is an excellent candidate. I'd like to call on Lawrence Johnson.
I'd like to call upon Louise Sonstabee to present the Christ the King Parents Association Bursary.
Good evening, grads. I was very grateful to have a chance to have a front row seat tonight. Our very special and only brother is graduating tonight. Hi, Mike. The Christ the King Parents Association Bursary is given to an individual with an excellent academic standing and participates in extracurricular activities and is active in his or her church community. We had some very worthy applicants. It's very hard to narrow it down. But this year's award goes to Andrea Jerdot.
The Women in Action Scholarship will now be presented by Sandy Koski.
Congratulations, grads. On behalf of Women in Action, I'd like to congratulate Annette McDougall.
The Norman Bakke Memorial Scholarship will be presented by Adele Bakke.
Good evening, everyone. Congratulations, graduates. On behalf of my family and myself, I would like to present the Norman Bakke Memorial Scholarship to this year's recipient, Carla Stevenson.
Frederick DeLange Memorial Scholarship will now be presented by Kathleen East.
Having been a student in Shaunavon High School when Fred DeLong was principal, I feel very honored to be able to present the Frederick DeLong Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship is awarded to someone with a high standing in the maths especially, as well as an overall A average. Other criteria include involvement in extracurricular and community activities, and an entrance to a post-secondary education institution. We had several excellent candidates. The recipient of the Frederick DeLong Memorial Scholarship this year is Jason James.
There's a phone call for John Kuczynski in the lobby. The Charles Weiss Boozy Memorial Scholarship Award will be presented by Dr. Edward Boozy and Dorothy Boozy.
I think it's only Boozy in Shaunavon. I was sitting in the front row counting on my fingers how long ago it was I graduated from the Shaunavon High School. I came up with 36 for myself and almost as many for my sister here. But sitting there, I had a real emotional surge, and I want to let it out right now. Hooray for the Shaunavon High School. You guys look great. Graduates, parents, teachers, and friends, on behalf of our family, we wish to thank you for allowing us to participate in your graduation exercises. We took great pleasure in establishing a scholarship in the memory of our father and felt that to do it here in Shaunavon would be particularly appropriate. This allows us to emphasize 2 points that he felt very strongly about. The first was his love for his community, and the second was his great respect for educational and professional development. Now the hard part. The specific issue on behalf of my mother, my older sister, my younger brother, we want to tell you how delightful it was to have this opportunity of receiving so many worthy applicants, and how difficult it was for us to make decisions. So difficult that we wondered how we really got into this. Mother never said it would be easy, and Mother said we had to do it. So it was with great pleasure and with a lot of regret that we can't be awarding this scholarship to several individuals. I asked my sister to present this award to a young person to assist his career in business, maybe law, and I wouldn't be surprised, maybe even politics, Jason James.
Special award will now be presented by Ron Tykolis.
I'd like to call Vince Horn to the front, please. This award is actually presented about a couple of weeks ago, 15th of June, am I correct? And I got the accompanying letter, which reads as follows. Comes from the Canadian Forces Recruiting Center Detachment, Regina, Shaunavon High School. Dear Principal, we are pleased to inform you that Vincent Horn has been selected for the university subsidization under the Canadian Forces Regular Officers Training Plan, that's the ROTP, and will be attending the Royal Military College in Kingston, Ontario. The Regular Officers Training Plan program is intensely competitive and the selection of this student reflects very highly on the quality of education and the opportunities to achieve a high standard of personal development that are being offered at your school. It would be appreciated if you would announce the selection of this student at your annual graduation ceremony. The value of this sponsorship for a 4-year program at the university is approximately $85,000. Thank you very much for your support during this school year. We look forward to even more fruitful year in 1991.
We now come to the valedictorian's address. It is customary that the student with the highest academic standing in grade 12 be chosen as valedictorian.
It is our honor to call upon the valedictorian for the 1990 graduating class, Trina Bate.
Good evening, families of the graduates, friends, teachers, and guests. On behalf of the graduates, I would like to welcome you to this, our last get-together as a class. Graduation is a very special occasion that will be remembered always. It is a time of mixed emotions. Although we never lose our friendships, as friends are forever, we feel sorrow as we part to go our separate directions. We have shared many experiences in our years together. It is difficult to believe that tonight marks the end of our 13 years of school. Those years hold many dear memories. By holding on together, we have emerged from childhood into adulthood. We also feel apprehensive about leaving our homes and families. Words cannot express our thanks to our parents. Without whose help, we would not have reached this milestone. They have been the wind beneath our wings. They have always been there for us, caring, understanding, and guiding. Thank you for encouraging us to be the best we can be. We will continue to need your encouragement as we set out to build our future. While we hesitate to leave our familiar lifestyle, now it is time for change. We are at a time in our life where we have many great opportunities ahead of us. We have the possibility of becoming anything we choose to be, as long as we believe in ourselves. Dan Clark, singer, author, and athlete, in his motivational presentation to students, proved the power of having self-confidence. After an accident during a football practice, he lost the ability to move his arm. Several specialists did not have any hope for his recovery. But through his determination and willpower, he regained the use of his arm. It took many hours of hard work, but he succeeded. Never forget the old cliche, nothing is impossible. We will experience many disappointments and setbacks, but by believing in ourselves and by trusting in God, we will make it through the difficult times. On behalf of the graduates, I would like to extend a warm thanks to our teachers. Seldom do they receive the recognition they deserve for their hard work. Many long hours are put into giving their students the best possible education. They not only teach the necessary material in the courses, but they teach us to become responsible, dependable, and self-thinking. In closing, I would like to congratulate my fellow classmates on their achievements and wish them a successful and rewarding future. May your own personal dreams and aspirations come true.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the 1990 graduation ceremonies.
We would like to extend our personal congratulations to the graduates and wish them the best of luck in their future endeavors.
We would also like to thank all of you for attending and encourage you to stay for the Grand March, which will begin in approximately a half an hour.
Please rise as the recessional is played.
They've been talking about Christmas in the world.
Davidson, and escort.
Tara Arhan and escort.
Dale Adette and Leah Barr.
Michael Adette and escort.
Parents, please come in front, please. Nicole Bailey and escort.
Katrina Bay and Vince
Jared Bildfeld and Tanya Tremere.
Cindy Braun and Kelly Fuller.
Brad Campbell and escort.
Darren Adair and escort.
Shelly Davidson and escort.
Corey Dawson and escort.
Stacy Smith and Deanna Hendrick.
Darlene and Blair, just stay there.
Stacey Fritz and escort.
Darlene, watch the video.
Andrea Gerda and escort.
Jason James and Bree Goldstein.
Pam Hardeen and Ryan Tonable.
Dan Hogwarts and escort.
Lawrence Johnston, an escort.
Danny Korsberg and escort.
Susan Lewis and Jason Rowe.
Annette McDougall and escort.
Lee Nelson, an escort.
Corey Pearson and escort.
Lee Poppy, an escort.
Carrie Rasmussen and escort. Carrie Rasmussen and escort. Carlos Stevenson and escort.
It's kind of looking forward to it
Patricia Wilson and Nolan Pericola.
Turner and escort.
Angie Bull and escort.
Trisha Bull and escort.
Robin Wall and escort.
Jamie Wilton and escort.